It's time.
Hey there, sports fans. This is the ECG Golf Club. And welcome to this week's Hackers Podcast. Every episode available on Spotify and YouTube.
Now watch this drive.
G'day, sports fans. Welcome to my favourite time of the week. This is the Hackers Podcast brought to you by the ECG Golf Club. As always, I'm joined by two of my favourite people on the planet. We've got Damo, we've got Zuuc. G'day, boys.
Good evening, Ash. Good evening.
Great to
Ash.
see
Good
you.
evening, Damo.
Great to see you. Hey, boys, we've got a big show lined up. We've got a couple of special guests sitting out there in the green room right now. I believe Belvedere's out there feeding them red Skittles. They're having a great time. They'll be out within the next 20 minutes or so. Can't wait for everyone at home to meet them. So this week is going to be jam-packed with a lot of character and personality and some analytics as well. But as always, Damo, first things first, let's head to you, brother.
Thank you, Ash. So just begin by acknowledging country. I'm joining from a Wabakal Warramai country, Newcastle, New South Wales. Ash, you're on Yukonbear country. Chris
Correct.
is on Darug country. Randall will also be joining us shortly. He's on Darug country as well. Dooley's on Birapai country. So acknowledging elders past, present, and emerging leaders. Thank you, Ash.
Pleasure as always. We're trying to build this ECG podcast, take it to the next tee. So we need you to like and subscribe this video if you're on YouTube. Comment below as well to anything and get involved in that conversation. Check us out on Spotify. You can like us on Spotify. We're on Instagram as well. Some funny stuff coming out there from Ranbo on Instagram. That's ECG Hackers. But my favorite time of the week, I learned a lot from this man. Over to you, brother.
Cheers, Ash. As always, the golf world doesn't disappoint. Plenty to get through, and we might start domestically first. The WebEx Player Series shifted to the Hunter Valley over the weekend, at which Daniel Gale came up trumps and managed to win the event held there. The 27-year-old ended up with a score of 19 under par to edge out amateur Phoenix Campbell. It was an unfortunate story for Phoenix. I believe he led or was tied for 71 of the 72 holes, but eventually fell short. And as always, the third place, Kazuma Kibori, just racking up those order of merit points. So as we come pretty much to the end of the Australian part of the tour, we shipped over to New Zealand for the New Zealand Open on the 3rd of March. But if we look at those order of merit points, we have Minwoo Lee up the top. But in terms of those who are likely to score a card out of this year's series, we've got Kazuma Kibori in second place, Brett Coletta in third, and Daniel Gale in fourth. So, Ash, I know you're across the DP World Tour. How do you think those three will fare, and who do you think will fare the best out of those who are likely to receive a card?
Great question. Look, my number one pick there is Kazuma. I think he's going to be great. I honestly think this kid could be the next Adam Scott. Big call, I know, but I really think he's very consistent. He's definitely one to watch. I think he'll be better. He'll be one of the top 5 Aussies without a doubt in the next 3 years, I'll say. I'm going to put that out there. Great question. I think Gale, interesting, as long as he doesn't wear that stupid yellow Titleist hat again with the yellow spalms. But I think Kazuma Kibori will do well out of it. It's been interesting how Micheluzzi hasn't been doing that great.
Fair
enough.
Do we know where the New Zealand Open's being played, Chris, or we're not sure? Is it Queenstown, I imagine, or?
I don't have details.
Right, I'll have a look. I'll have a look while you.
You got him, you stumped him.
To be fair, Damo, I'd love a history lesson on the New Zealand Open. It's one of those tournaments. I'm sure it's got a rich history. I'm sure Frank Nobilo has plenty of victories there before he's taken up the commentary, Mike. But yeah, so it's almost coming to a close. The WebEx series. I think it's been a great success, and look forward to seeing who secures those DP World Tour cards. So moving overseas, whilst there wasn't a live event during the course of the week, there was some interesting news that broke today, particularly in relation to live player Joachim Niemann regarding special exemptions or special invitations granted by Augusta in relation to the upcoming Masters event in April. Niemann, along with Royo Hisashune and Thornbjorn Olesen, received special invitations from Augusta to play in the event. And that's something that has become a bit of a tradition. And I'll just read a quote from the Masters chairman, Fred Ridley, just to provide some context as to why these exemptions or special invitations are granted. So the quote goes along with this announcement. He said, "The Masters has a long-standing tradition of inviting leading international players who are not otherwise qualified. Today's announcement represents the tournament's continued commitment to developing the game of golf across the world." So with Niemann, it's kind of interesting because it's emphasising probably the work he's done away from the LIV Tour. If you remember, over December, he was on our shores, winning the Australian Open and finishing fifth in the Australian PGA. Indeed, you represent the hash. So it's kind of interesting, given how it's led to this special invitation. Will this lead to an influx of LIV players during our summer of golf? So, Damo, do you think the summer of golf is back?
Chris, I mean, I think we've mentioned that the last couple of episodes, haven't we? We're sort of feeling that there's a definite resurgence of Australian golf. So let's hope the summer of golf is well and truly back. And like I think it was yourself or Ash was saying last week, LIV does raise the profile for domestic golf tournaments in Australia, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think things are looking up and up, which is great. And the New Zealand Open is in Queenstown, by the way. I just checked it. So everything golf happens in Queenstown. So, but you've set a challenge. I look forward to doing some research into the NZ Open. Maybe the official 11th major or something in the world.
Nice. Hey, Chris, can I ask? As breaking news, what you just mentioned there about the invitations to the Masters. Do you know of anybody else that's got an invite other than Joachim Niemann? Have you heard anybody else?
Yeah, there's the other two I mentioned there in terms of Damo's favourite, Thornbjorn Olesen. So this is a bit of a redemption story for him. Obviously, we're all aware of the off-field incidents that occurred a few years back, but he seems to...
Hang on, whoa. Damo, do you? What are you talking about here?
We might leave that for another day, but there were some incidents in relation to alleged incidents that were cleared in a London court regarding some actions on a flight, I believe. So
I'd like you to report on that next week.
All right, a bad boy come good in that regard. And then the Japanese golfer Royo. So clearly inviting a Dane and a Japanese golfer clearly, I guess, is in line with what was announced there by Fred Riley around trying to develop the game around the world and having those nations represented in the Masters, I think is a good thing for the game.
I also saw that this week there is a couple of guys playing in Macau or to try and win that tournament to get to the Open. Did you hear about that as well?
Yeah, there's a few events which people are, I guess, putting on their calendar to get an invite through the qualification process. I was listening to Rick Shields' podcast this week. He had Sergio Garcia on. Obviously, he qualifies for the Masters being a former winner, but in relation to the Opens being US and the Open, he, in his diary, pencils in the qualifying tournaments because he knows that's the only way he will be able to participate in those events. He fell short trying to qualify for the Open last year, but based on the dialogue he had there, he's certainly keen to participate in the qualifiers. Didn't feel too big or too proud to roll up his sleeves and get out there and qualify like everyone else. And so I look forward to see whether other LIV players take that approach. And obviously, as we all know, the winner of the Australian Open gets an invite. So, as mentioned before, hopefully that's an attractive option for LIV golfers to increase the strength of the Australian Open field.
Awesome,
Awesome, as always.
Only won the one major, hasn't he? That's right, isn't it? Despite the longevity of his career, he's only won one major, as he's been close a number of times. But I think he's only won the one. Joachim Niemann is Chilean, is that right? Or have I got that wrong?
Yes.
Chilean? Yes. Nice.
Very good. Right.
Very interesting. Nice.
And moving on probably to the big tournament of the week. We were all on Tiger Watch last week, and we'll get to that in a second. Unfortunately, probably a couple of things transpired over the course of the week, and both of those really happening on the Friday that overshadowed a performance by Hideki Matsuyama that was really incredible on Sunday.
Came out of nowhere.
That 62 he shot allowed him to storm through the leaderboard and take the title at the Genesis. He's 62 with only 23 putts. Watching some of that round, his iron play and approach play, he was just landing the ball within 1 or 2 feet of the cup every single time. It was just a pure masterclass. But really, unfortunately for him, people were all talking about 2 other events that transpired. And we'll touch on one first, and that's what's been quoted as the dumbest rule in all of sports, being the rule in which led to Jordan Spieth being disqualified after filing an incorrect scorecard. I was searching around and wasn't really too sure what transpires in the whole process. Obviously, he admitted on social media that he signed an incorrect scorecard and stepped out of the scoring area and took full responsibility and acknowledged that the rules are the rules, but wanted to understand what was going on, call it behind the curtain. So it's a little bit of a long tweet, but I think it sheds some light here. So if you indulge me and just let me read for a little bit, gentlemen. So this is posted by tour player Michael Kim. So he says here, what happens inside the scoring trailer, in brackets most of the time, you walk in, the player that took your score signs it and hands it to you. You sign it, check it with your own score. Some caddies look at it as well, some don't. Most ask the scoring official what they have in their system, and the official reads them back to you. The reason the scorer can't do it for all of us is that that's an official because they're a volunteer and they may be off 5% of the time, especially if there was a weird ruling. If the score is off, the official will ask you which one is correct. You hand it back to the official. He double checks it, enters it into the system. You're good. He goes on to say, sometimes when guys are pissed, they barely check it. They sign it, give it to the official and walk out. That's usually when mistakes happen. Jordan had just come off on a double on the 18th, probably was a bit heated and didn't get through it thoroughly. Sometimes a player will have it completely blank and write down the entire 18 holes in the scoring trailer.
No way.
So that last one just blew me away, that some players don't keep score and effectively rely on the official scorer to read it out and jot it down. I guess, Ash, how diligent are you when it comes to scoring?
I do it as we go, just after you finish the hole. I'm blown away by that. Look, it opens up a can of worms, and it's something I've been tossing up over the last 24 hours. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I mean, golf is it's an old school game, but I mean, what sport out there, Damo, do you have to do your own timekeeping? Do you have to do your own measuring? Not many, if any.
I can't think of any. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what other sport is comparable. So tennis, there's an umpire. Cricket, there's scorers that you don't score your own runs. When you bat like I used to do, you didn't have much to score anyway. But even if you were scoring yourself. But I think, yeah, it's curious. But I guess one of the strength, I don't know what, a bit like you, Ash, I'm sort of waxing and waning on it a bit because it is a game of rules golf.
Yeah.
And I think rules are really important in the game. So
Mm.
I say credit to Jordan for not making a big thing out of it, acknowledged his fault and has moved on. I don't know that all players would be like that. Some of them might sort of kick up a bit of a step. But, yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting situation. But obviously he felt he did the wrong thing and acknowledged it and moved on. That double bogey must have been a factor.
Yeah. Can I just say, Chris, you were at the WebEx the other day. If you go to a tournament, and Ram was over at Genesis, we'll hear about that. There is that many volunteers and people taking scores and distances from the pin, and there's so many people. I think maybe now for a professional golf tournament, we can get rid of that, and there's an umpire or a major scorer. I don't know what you think, Chris, but that's I'm leaning towards that.
I think this is a complete travesty and a complete joke.
Okay.
This is a modern sport with billions of dollars being pumped in, and you're denying the golfing public a 3-time major winner on Saturday and Sunday because of a one-stroke error that was easily able to be remedied. I just find this really pathetic in a modern global sporting framework. I think this really needs to be looked at and improved.
Fair enough.
On that note, I think it's good time to move on. You've just put a full stop to that, Chris. Thank you very much. You got anything else to add?
Obviously, the main talking point was the withdrawal of Tiger Woods.
Yes.
We were all watching over the course of Friday. Clearly, something perhaps wasn't quite right. We all recall the 18th on Thursday where that shank clearly looked like it was the result of back spasms. He even mentioned that, I believe, himself in the post-match press conference. But clearly, Tiger's withdrawal was really and a very unfortunate situation. And we've certainly got someone who was on the ground who will comment in a second around how the galleries reacted, and I think that's going to be fascinating to understand there. But I've got a quick question for both of you, and I'll start with Damo. Is the PGA too reliant on Tiger? Is it something that they need to address and find the next marketable player? Do they spend enough time marketing the talent that they have? Is there an issue here?
I think there might be, Chris. I think we'll hear from Ran as well when he tells us about what it was like being at the Genesis. But the very fact that when he withdrew, I think vast number of the crowd left. So and that is partly to do, I would imagine, with the profile that is put on Tiger. So there's a lot of other great golfers out there now. I do feel, and I've said this, I think, on every episode so far, as I get older, I find I like Tiger more and more. And it's a bit sad to see this happening. To my eye, during the round, he didn't look well anyway. So he doesn't have proper motion in his body. He has a fused back, and he has other parts of his body that are fused. So that, to me, in layman's terms, would suggest he has no mobility whatsoever. So he looked very distressed to me well before withdrawing. He often looks quite distressed to me in the face, actually, is the way I see it. But look, I think he's been wonderful for the game, though. And I think it's going to be really exciting to watch his son evolve as a golfer as well. But, I think it'd be a fair comment to say there's been too much reliance on Tiger at the expense of some of the other really good young golfers that are coming through. There's some very great players out there, no doubt.
Yep. Awesome. As always, Chris, brilliant analysis. I appreciate your research that goes into that.
Big
roll the video tape. If you could please like and subscribe our video on YouTube, throw a comment in there if you've got anything you want to add or you want to ask Zuuc a question or an opinion, please do it below. We'd appreciate your support, and especially on Spotify as well. You can like and subscribe us on Spotify too. Pretty excited. Where the boardroom's getting full and full. I can hear the green room in the background's getting rather ruckus. I had Red Bull and Red Skittles there. Joining us in a moment after this break is Ranbo. So we'll see in a moment.
Big brand golf balls up to 70% cheaper than retail. We're one of Australia's largest sellers of second-hand golf balls, so you save big time. Discountgolfballs.com.au. Never pay full price again.
Never pay full price again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hackers of the world, I bring to you my younger brother, the handsome one of the lot, Ranbo. Welcome to the Hackers podcast.
Nice. Thank you, boys. Good to be here. I've got to
Excellent.
say, Ash, the hospitality back there is just amazing. I scoffed down some vol au vents.
Vol au vents? You see the chocolate eclairs, the little mini ones?
Chocolate eclairs, yeah, and a few party pies. It's fantastic. Some characters back there too. So yeah, no, appreciate the hospitality.
Did you meet Belvedere?
I think I did.
You met Belvedere? Yeah.
He was the guy pushing me around and get on stage. So
it
was good. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Ran. You've obviously a bit of a jet setter. We're going to call you our foreign correspondent. A quick little 20 seconds. We're going to play an interview or a bit of audio that you provided us from the Genesis, but just hit us with something leading into this audio, mate. What are we going to be looking at?
Yeah, as you guys mentioned before, the Genesis, amazing. It was great to be at the Genesis. But yeah, I think what we captured on the day was a bit of what it was like trying to capture Tiger and get hold of the goat, and the disappointment that comes with it. So yeah, I'm sure you'll understand that when you hear it. So
okay, let's go to the videotape.
Okay, so it's Rand here. We're in LA. We're heading towards Riviera Country Club for the Genesis Invitational. Can't wait. Super pumped. We're going to be seeing Tiger, the GOAT. Can't wait to see him. Pretty excited about that. But I'm here with Ishman.
G'day, hackers.
And I'm here with the Prince, Byron.
How are we?
So we're heading our way there. Can't wait. Plenty to see today. Also looking forward to see a bunch of other good golfers and...
Yeah, Jason Day, obviously got to follow the Aussies. Tiger Hunt's the main thing. I'll put out there as well. We've just gone past LAX airport. I've seen the tail of a private jet that had the 3 triangles on it. It's Tiger's freaking plane.
Yeah, he's here.
It was Tiger's private jet. I can't wait.
So, yeah, can't wait. Going to be awesome. We're almost there. Super pumped. Let's go.
Can't wait. Let's do it.
Woo!
The gold.
Okay, so now we're in the gate. We're pretty pumped. There's a lot of Genesis stuff going on here. I think we've had about 3 P stops at the moment. 3, I think, is it 3 P?
That'll be 4.
Yeah, we're going to find the 4th, and we haven't even...
Heavy urination flow this morning.
Yeah.
A lot of coffee.
The problem is we may be going to Portaloos, but...
And from experience, sorry, I just throw out there, US Open Portaloo experiences were horrible. So,
yeah, we'll rate these ones. They were a 1 out of 10. Let's hope these are at least higher than that. Anyway, we'll see how that pans out. I think we're going to try and hunt down Jason Day.
Tied first for the moment.
Okay, we've got our first Portaloo stop. Let's see, rate these compared to the US Open. Well, that was experience. I think I'll give that still a 3 out of 10. Better than US Open, but, you know, I feel real sorry for females. That's a real problem. We're still waiting here on the 13th. We're waiting for Jason Day to come through in the next group. Already been peppered with a few stray balls, so hopefully... so we're hoping for Jason Day to come through shortly.
Come on, JD.
Okay, Jason Day's about to shoot on the... He's not playing, no. I don't know why. Question about Min Woo, why he's not playing. I'm not sure. That'd be one for Zuuc to answer.
Zuuc will know that.
Jason Day's up to the tee box. About to hit. We should be in good striking distance here. We're halfway down the fairway. And bang. It's coming straight at us. Come on, Jason. Oh, shoot. Oh, good rebound. Great rebound. Oh, we've got it damaged. Oh, he's hit. We've got a man down. We've got a man down. Jason just signed his glove and gave it to the guy he hit. Lovely gesture from the great Aussie. He's in the lead here at the moment.
An Aussie move, that.
Great Aussie move. Okay, Jason's approaching his ball here on the 13th. He's a little bit unhappy about the... But,
Made some contact with
yeah.
the spectators.
Let's go to Melbourne. Okay, Jason's standing on the ball on the 13th. Talking to himself and his caddy, if you can hear him. Bang. See it? He's played.
Beauty.
Get on the dance floor.
Shot.
Get on the dance floor. Nice work, mate. Job, Jason.
Love the shirt, JD.
Jason's Finau with a missed putt here on the 13th. Jason is going to be walking through soon, so I'm going to try and do a little Queenslander call out to him, see if you can recognise it.
Keep it up, JD.
Queenslander! Queenslander! Yeah. You got it, dude. You got it. Yeah, we just got fist pumps. Confirming we got fist pumps.
Fists have been pumped.
In the 9th hole now, we've got Adam Scott just teed off. Nice tee shot. See if you can get some love from him on the way through. We just left Jason Day on the 14th. I think we need to let him just focus now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go, Adsy.
Let's go, Adam. Let's go, mate. No love from Adam. He's a bit more focused than JD today, but his score doesn't show it.
That's right.
Just quietly.
Jason's better.
Just quietly.
JD's better.
Yeah.
We're here on the 10th green. We almost had a chip in. It is 6 past 1 currently. I think Tiger's on the fifth fairway. So we're gonna camp here for a bit and wait for him to make an appearance on the green.
Unbelievable. So we've been standing here at the 10th. Perfect front row seats at the 10th green. Waiting for Tiger. He's 2 grips away. We get a text message. The guy next to me says that Tiger's withdrawn. I'm just speechless. I don't know what to say. People are leaving.
Devastated. Devastated.
We were in 15 minutes of seeing the goat.
His group is teeing off right now on the hole we're standing at. I feel like I'm standing in the bunker. I'm that close. I was so excited, but yeah, don't know what to say.
I mean, we're thinking some options here. They could have brought him out in a cart and just done a lap around and waved everybody, or
parade him around just to say thanks for coming.
Or Paul Pierce, he could have come out. Maybe they could Paul Pierce bend the rules a bit, let him go back and get a bit of treatment, come back out.
Little back rub, little back massage, send him back out.
Anyway, we're shattered. So
don't know what to do.
Anyway, that's it.
Absolutely cracking up with the image in my head of them parading Tiger Woods around. Rand, you sounded devastated. I really appreciate that report. It must have been quite an emotional moment. But I do think the highlight of that report for me was when you said a bunch of other good golfers. I like that.
Yeah, that's right.
So how was it? Like, what happened after he left? Was it literally a mass exodus?
It was night and day. It was completely different. It was, yeah. I mean, for me personally, I've seen a lot of sportsmen, like high, top level sports people play, Kobe, LeBron, everybody, but seeing Tiger would have been. I don't think there's anyone else I would want to see in my lifetime. Whether it's probably him, Bradman, and Jordan, that'd be it. Take or leave Muhammad Ali, but he's that was it. And I'm just going to say, not to say that Jane Savile is Tiger Woods, but I've been in this situation before, so I could take it.
Yes,
I could take it.
You never forget that,
man. So I was at the Sydney 2000 Olympics, front row at Stadium Australia.
Yeah.
And she was leading. I think she had one paddle or whatever you call it. I could hear the crowd was just going ballistic. Here we are. We're going to see a gold medal. I could see her shadow coming through a tunnel, and she got we're going singing.
Crowd like I was up the top, you were down the bottom. The crowd's like slow clapping. Yes.
Singing some Christine Arnoux or something. And then she gets the 3 paddles. and so devastating. So I've been there before, so
Yeah.
I could deal with it.
So is it one of your lowest moments in live sport? You got me thinking. I was sort of thinking of one of my low moments, and it's a feeling that stays with you. So I could compare it to South Sydney Rabbitohs minor premiers 1988.
Yeah.
Wooden Spooners 1989, and going to the SFS and watching the Gold Coast. I think they were called the Seagulls.
Seagulls or something.
Absolutely lap the Bunnies the year after they were minor premiers. And I remember the flatness. It's tough.
Mate, I was there in 2003 when Chris Jericho lost to Juventud Guerrera, so that's probably about the same for me too.
That's tough.
On that note, thank you so much, Rand, for that report. Message from a sponsor.
Golf 49. Quality golfwear, $49. From mild to wild, our entire range of shirts, shorts, and accessories are $49 each, including free shipping Australia-wide. golf49.com.au.
Mate, I'm so sorry. The videotape operator cut you off there, Damo. My apologies.
Oh, no, I just think the quality of the reporting tonight is of such high standard. We've got Chris who's soldiering on through feeling a bit ordinary, and I really want to pay my respects to his effort.
Chris.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Ran has just given one of the most wonderful live broadcasts. I mean, this is quality reportage. And, I think they're, CNN will come knocking very soon, I imagine, or BBC for you two gentlemen. And don't forget us as you climb the BBC World Ladder. Sorry.
Never forget the ECG.
Beautiful. Thank you for those kind words from the board. The chairman of the boards, Damo. We're going to continue this amazing quality. I had brought to us the Bruce Springsteen of golf. He's a storyteller. Have a look down the bottom left of your screen. Dooley, welcome to the ECG Hackers podcast,
Thanks
brother.
for having me, guys. Great show. Great show. It's been awesome so far.
Yeah, man. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Where are you coming to us from?
I'm in beautiful Port Macquarie on the east coast of Australia. It's a lovely spot.
Nice.
Yeah, about 4 hours.
You remember down there, mate? You remember the golf course down there?
Yeah, not long joined Warhope Country Club out a little bit west from here. A beautiful little track, nice and cheap. Good fellas, good bunch of characters. Course is in good nick at the moment, so yeah, I'm loving it.
Love it. Dooley and I used to play a lot of golf together in the 90s. I know my brothers know and Chris knows, but yeah, we started playing together back in about 94, 95. We played a lot of Riverside Oaks back when it was in its heyday, I would probably say.
Sure.
Some other courses we played at, Dooley. I know Ashlar. What are some other ones?
Yeah, Asquith, one of my favourites that we used to play. North Ryde, another lovely course.
Mungry?
Did you play Mungry Park?
I think we probably.
Or was it Kellyville Country Club?
Available.
It might have been Kellyville Country Club by that point. I think maybe.
I think it may have been. Yeah, they spruced it right up and put a new sign up.
They did.
Yeah, that's right.
That's when they added the first hole, which was the old football ground, and built a mound, which we've talked about before. But the renovation
down, over the hill.
Yeah, really.
Actually, there was I found the scorecard online from about 1998 at the Mungry Park or the Kellyville Country Club scorecard, and on the back, the club rules. There was one point that said if you hit one of the light poles on the first or the 18th hole, it mentioned that. So yeah, that was quite interesting. I'll have to expand on that in an episode further down.
Probably a generation of middle-aged men that was sterile from those all those electricity poles running through there.
Dooley, you're also back in the day were a member of Emerald Downs, were you not?
Correct. Yeah. So
correct.
Yeah,
All right.
It's been 25 years, man, since I've had a game. So I'm getting back into it and loving it. So.
Loving it. All right. After this sting, you're going to hit us with an amazing story. So stay tuned. Be back in a moment.
Tales from the lost and found.
Well, what do we have here?
Tales from the lost and found.
Did you find that?
Tales from the lost and found.
Are you sure you want that back? You never guess what he found in Emerald Downs. Over to you, Dooley. Bruce Springsteen.
That was so good. So, if you just jot this bit down, so Christmas this year, the story comes from. My Nan was a golfer. Got me this beautiful blue golf towel with the words in like cartoon golf embroidered along the golf towel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's middle of summer, and I'm playing around with my good mates Ben and Brett. Ben Hamilton, he's actually pro up here now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So about 4 holes in, I'm like, it's hot. Palm Quarry's a hot place.
Yeah.
And I'm sweating on another level. Like, and
so the sand meter, the swamp ass meter is sitting about 9 out of 10, or
almost. It's from 7 a.m. It's 9. It's up there.
Yeah.
And 4 holes in, I'm sweating more than I never used to be a sweater. I'm sweating bullets, thinking I'm crook. So we finished that hole. I tee off on the 5th, and I'm like, well, I've almost sharted having a swing. So soldiered through. We're all playing good golf. You don't want to pull out. So I'm hit my ball probably down the fairway back in those days. And I got to it, and I said to the boys, mate, I've got to go for a nature's number 2. I'm struggling. So I grabbed the golf towel. Easy,
hang on. You're cutting out a bit, Dawes. Hang on.
50 metres into.
Dooley, can you hear me? You cut out just a little bit. Can we? We'll have to catch you back.
It's swamp.
Hey, Dooley, we've lost you. We've lost you, brother. Hang on. We've got technical issues coming out of coughs. It's the humidity's ruined his phone. So
Telecom towers
let us down.
Go glitch.
Yeah.
So when we get Dooley back, we'll pick that up from. I think he was teeing off at the 5th hole. Is that right?
Yep.
He's teeing off at the 5th hole. So when we get Dools back, hang on. There we go. We'll pick it up at the 5th hole. Saying that, let's just go to an ad break. We're back in a second. We'll sort this Telstra problem out.
Big brand golf balls up to 70% cheaper than retail. We're one of Australia's largest sellers of second-hand golf balls, so you save big time. Discountgolfballs.com.au. Never pay full price again.
Oh, I hate to see it, but the green room's taken its toll. It's taken Dooley back. So he's going to head back to the green room, load up on some Skittles and Red Bull, and he'll be back in a moment. Now,
hey, Ash, do those discount golf balls, they do Nike balls by any chance?
They do, mate. I've seen some Nike.
I'm hunting down Nike balls.
Are you?
They don't make them anymore, so you've got to try and find them.
They do. He's actually hit us up with a discount code too. So anyone watching in Australia, comment below on YouTube, hit me with a discount. I'll give you a discount code to discount golf balls. I actually bought a whole bunch of the divides, Strixon divides, I think, which were fantastic. Damo, yes, brother.
So there'd be discounted balls.
Yes,
that's right. Double discount.
Nice.
I can see Dooley. Belvedere's got him. He's sorted him out. Yep. Okay, Belvedere's here. Can you bring him in? Yep. We're going to pick this story up from. Okay, here he is. Dooley, thanks, Belvedere. We got to about the 5th tee. We were at a point in time where you had a pie before 11 a.m. Your guts were churning. 5th tee.
Oh, you did have a pie, did you? You had a
pie before.
Oh dear.
Probably. So nailed the drive down the 5th tee there. Felt a bit loose in the guts, like almost sharted on the follow through. I said to the boys, we found my ball. Said to the boys, look, I got to go out in the scrub for a nature's number 2. I've grabbed the golf towel. and ventured into
Your
the
nan's
bush.
one.
Easy 50 meters into the bush, like through the swamp. It's like water under feet, mosquitoes.
Yeah. You've done the right thing.
That's a big call. You've got to go. You're desperate.
That's
there's
right.
no
I was only 15. This has never happened before. So I've got all the way in there, did the business, and hid this golf towel in there to just like the body. Just didn't want to know it.
Right.
I get back to the group, and not a word was spoken. They were a good bunch of lads that took it well.
Yeah.
So we finished our round, and it had to be, I'd say, a month later. We're in the pro shop, and Ben's tapped me on the shoulder.
A month later, okay. Yeah.
Easily a month later, playing partner I was playing with tapped me on the shoulder, and he's like, "Look in the lost and found."
Oh!
I'm like, "What?" He's like, "It's your towel."
Oh!
And sure enough, it was my towel. Someone's ventured in there, obviously for the same reason I did. You're like, there's no way.
What?
And found the
bit
towel,
unmistakable because
put it back in the lost and found.
Oh my god! You knew it was yours because it had Nan stitching on it.
Yeah.
Was it stained? Like, was it brown or was it clean or what?
I wasn't going to touch it, man, but it was it was behind the counter, sitting on top, like presented.
Pride
it was shocking.
Oh my god, that's unbelievable.
So somebody's gone in after you. Like, what are they doing that deep in the bush to find it?
Because that's what we were talking about. Like, you couldn't hit a ball through the bush that far because it was all these narrow, like, paper bars. Like, it was insane.
Wow.
Someone
Then
really.
What do they thought?
golf.
Oh, here's a nice towel. It's got a bit of dirt on it.
Little bit muddy.
Yeah.
Someone's wiped their clubs on this one.
Yeah.
It's got some nice embroidery on it.
Poo in here a bit.
But that's not
Unbelievable.
You don't put that in the lost and found. That's just straight in the rubbish.
No,
Absolutely.
I don't think you'd pick it up. You'd leave it there, wouldn't you?
Maybe in Sydney, we're an honest bunch up here in Port Macquarie. You'd hand everything. So, yeah.
Dude, that is unbelievable. What a story. Please comment below if you've got any stories like that. But Dooley has got a ton of these, and we're going to drag them from him in the coming weeks. Rand, did you want to say something?
Love it.
I was going to say, lucky. I guess the alternative was that they would have put it on one of the ball washers as the towel. Probably lucky they didn't do that. Otherwise, it would have just gone through the whole course. So probably lost and found is probably the place for it, to be honest.
And
absolutely.
The key thing I took away from this was that now, like, after I play, 2 weeks, I'll wash my towel. That thing was scratchy as, man. It was the worst toilet paper I've ever used. So keep it clean, just in case. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Love it. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Bruce Springsteen Dooley, for that story. We got more of those coming up. Beautiful.
Tales from the lost and found.
Well, what do we have here?
Tales from the lost and found.
Did you find that?
There we go. Beautiful stuff. My older brother, Damo, the chairman of the board, the ECG, probably one of the more serious of the Griffiths brothers, but we need that. We need some grounding, need some seriousness. You're a great storyteller yourself. We've come up with a segment name for your segment here, Dame. I'm going to play this and see what you think. Tales of history and wonder, Damo. What do we got this week?
It's got a tinge of X-Files and Twilight Zone to it. I kind of like it. I really like that. So the last two episodes, we've talked about former Australian golfing champions. So we talked about Mr. Craig Parry. Last episode, we talked about the great Jack Newton and his underappreciated record, actually, in majors especially. Runner-up to Seve Ballesteros, runner-up to Tom Watson. This week, going to go a little bit left field.
Okay,
so,
what do you got?
Introducing CHEVY Chase.
Ooh.
AKA
Love it.
Ty Webb. Or I never understand with AKA, is it actually Ty Webb, AKA Chevy Chase, or Chevy Chase, AKA Ty? But anyway, so Chevy Chase's character in Caddyshack was Ty Webb.
Yeah.
Nice.
A couple of little things I've come to discover about Chevy Chase, AKA Ty Webb, or Ty Webb, AKA Chevy Chase, is that he was, Chevy Chase, was almost electrocuted to death just before he made Caddyshack on the set of another film. So we may not have been graced with Ty Webb.
The likes of National Lampoons and things like that as well.
Exactly.
Fletch.
Three Amigos. Fletch lives. Three Amigos. Three Amigos is probably the pinnacle of his career, I think. But
That's a great movie.
in my research, I discovered, in my research, I discovered the way Rotten Tomatoes, I don't know if you guys are a fan of Rotten Tomatoes, but I certainly utilize it frequently to get my movie ratings and TV show ratings. It described Caddyshack, the movie, as unabashedly crude and juvenile. Caddyshack scores with classic slapstick, unforgettable characters and endlessly quotable dialogue. And I've looked back over some of the dialogue, and it's absolutely hilarious. There is one scene in particular, which you might recall, gentlemen, and I think it's the peak of Chevy Chase, Ty Webb, and what really does potentially give him a place on the Wall of Honor is the Be the Ball scene. So I don't know if you remember when he's with the young fellow who's the caddy, who's actually got a very decent golf swing. And he blindfolds Chevy Chase, a.k.a. Ty Webb, a.k.a. Chevy Chase. And Chevy says, pass me a wedge. And, of course, hits this beautiful wedge shot to within 60 centimetres blindfolded. And that, to me, is another element that definitely grants him status, honor roll status, I believe.
I like that.
The other thing, the way that Ty Webb was described as a golfer, and I think this is fantastic. One reputable website describes Ty Webb as his handicap is +3 at 7 a.m. on a Thursday, or 18 after 1 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah,
that is nails Ty Webb, because if I remember rightly, he had some perhaps drug issues.
Yeah, that's right. You did too.
Okay, maybe I think from memory, because of course he was a very wealthy layabout, I suppose you could say, because his family was very wealthy from lumber yards. So from a lumberyard dynasty. But he also struggled with the psychological elements of the game. So he was prone to the jitters.
You're right.
And could get a bit hard on himself. Bit yippy. So I can relate. I can relate to this. The most recent monthly medal I played in, which is, let's be honest, was probably 18 months ago because I was so traumatized. I haven't played in a monthly medal since. I shot 45 on the front off the stick.
Nice.
And 62 on the back. So
holy moly.
That is comparable with Ty Webb's handicap of +3 on a Thursday and 18 on a Sunday. So I would like to make the case for adding Chevy Chase, a.k.a. Ty Webb, or Ty Webb, a.k.a. Chevy Chase, to the honour board alongside Craig Parry and Jack Newton. Of course, the other interesting bit of trivia, there's actually a number of Chevy Chase golf clubs in America.
Really?
One in Maryland, one in there's several anyway. I'm forgetting where the other ones are, but there's a number of them in America, fascinatingly enough. So there you go. I rest my case with Mr. Ty Webb, a.k.a. Chevy Chase.
I loved it. We will. I think, Chris, what do you think? Get him on the honour board. I'd be happy with that.
I second it. I think in terms of raising the profile of the sport, Caddyshack was certainly something that broadened the how can I say, the viewer base and those that it was certainly a great way for the younger crowd to find the game as well. So I certainly loved Rodney Dangerfield's character. I think it was a start for Bill Murray as well, but it's certainly Ty Webb that held the story together, and he's certainly, worthy of being added to the ECG honourable.
The only thing I would add to, perfectly said, Chris, is to listeners, do not under any circumstances watch Caddyshack 2.
Yeah, good point. Brilliant point.
Couldn't agree more. That might go in the manifesto.
Yeah.
Yes. You just come up with two crackers. You've got a manifesto point.
Watch Caddyshack 2. Possibly one of the worst movies ever made. Dan Aykroyd suddenly turned up as a kind of Bill Murray character. Chevy Chase did come back for Caddyshack 2, but apparently one of his comments was, "Please tell me when you've added the laugh track." So do not watch Caddyshack 2 under any circumstances. I think that goes on the manifesto.
Love it. Nice.
Thank you once again, Damo, for the Tales of Wonder. You mentioned a word there, the yips. We're going to bring a new segment in as well. It's going to be called Ripped or Yips. Obviously, we're going to go around the grounds. If you agree, you're ripped. If you disagree, it's yipped. But that word yip, funny enough, it's a golf term I've always heard. I mean, I remember our dad telling us about it when we were 12, 13 playing golf. He's got the yips. He's got the yips. I actually looked up. There's a definition for the yips. There's an actual definition. The yips are an involuntary wrist spasm that occur most commonly when golfers are trying to putt. However, the yips can also affect people who play other sports such as cricket, darts, and baseball. It was once thought that the yips were always associated with performance anxiety. So look how that term yips has permeated into actual definition.
I love the way it's actually specific about saying, "Oh no, it's definitely about spasm. It's like a spasm."
Yeah,
it's like very specific.
Yeah.
It's
Actually, I have an idea. Pilot Men's Health should add a new category. Yips.
Oh,
they do weight loss. They do.
Yeah. It's basically just a couple of Masindol tablets, really. A couple of Masindol will take the edge off, and good for the yips.
Maybe a placebo.
Yeah,
but I think
that's right.
Good to add weight loss. There's a couple of other categories which I don't know what they mean, but yips would be another one.
ED, erectile dysfunction, yips.
Yeah, yips.
Love it. Saying that, we're going to go clockwise on the screen. I'm going to go Damo, then Zuuc, then Ranbo, and Dooley. A quick fire, ripped or yipped. So I'm going to have a statement. I'm going to give you a ripped or a yipped. My first statement is, and I'll go first, the USPGA did the right thing by disqualifying Jordan Spieth after a wrong scorecard. I'm going to say yipped. Damo, what do you think? Ripped or yipped?
So they did do the right thing. Yipped. Did I get that right? Got that wrong. Sorry.
Did they do the right thing? The USPGA did the right thing by disqualifying Jordan Spieth.
No, they didn't. So yipped.
Yeah. There you go. Yipped. Beautiful. Zuuc, ripped or yipped?
Yipped, and I think I gave my reasoning before.
Yeah, Rand?
Absolutely yipped. It's like the score was everywhere. Like, why is it come? I think the story was too that I think at the course he had to run off to the tour because he was also sick. And then I think
he had a Dooley moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
he had a Dooley moment, literally.
Yeah.
Once again, you do not eat meat pies from the pro shop before 11 a.m. You have to say it every week. Dooley, ripped or yipped?
I'm going to say ripped. I'm old school. It was one of the first rules that I learned as a junior playing junior golf was check your scores, check your partner's scores. If you sign it, you wear it. So I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
Love it. So we got four ripped, one yipped. Sorry, 4 yipped, 1 ripped. The next one is Live Golf a stronger field than a PGA Tour event, Damian? Yes, ripped. No, yipped.
Geez, that's a good question. I would probably say that yes, it is at the moment. So that's ripped.
Ripped. Chris?
The
Is Live
analyst in me
Golf a
wants-
stronger field?
The analyst in me wants to sit on the fence because it depends. But if we're comparing signature events, the peak of PGA against Live, I still give the edge to Live. So, yeah, ripped.
Ripped. Okay. Ran? Is Live ripped or yipped?
I think it's ripped like David Hasselhoff in Baywatch. I think it's bloody
glistening, glistening and ripped.
Oiled up and ripped. I saw it firsthand because you go to the PGA events and there is half a dozen of the best. There's obviously the number 1 to 6 are there. The best players are there, but it's not deep. There's a massive tail. Whereas in Live, it's stacked. So with John Rahm there now, it's a massive difference. So yeah, definitely.
Awesome. What was that guy's name that was the blonde guy from Baywatch? The
Chokachi?
Chokachi. He looked like the referee from WCW. Where,
He did wasn't Eric Estrada in that for a while as well? Or?
That was Chips, wasn't it? Chips.
Chips, right?
I think it was him. He was in. Wasn't he the diner? And then he ran the diner in Beverly Hills 90210 or something. But
that's right.
Did he really?
Jeez.
Did he really?
Dooley, is Live ripped or yipped?
Definitely ripped, and it's just going to get better. Yeah.
Love it. All right, another one. Having women play amongst the men in the WebEx Australia is lifting women's golf profile in the country. I'm going to say 100% ripped. Watching these WebEx on KO and having the women play alongside the men, I think it's fantastic. I'm loving it. So it's ripped.
Yep, absolutely
Damo.
ripped. No question. Absolutely. No, I think it's a no-brainer. It's a great thing. We have a lot of very great women golfers in Australia as well. So they stride the world stage, and no, I think it's a great thing. Absolutely ripped.
Zuuc.
Yipped. I disagree. I don't think the talent's there, other than Jenny Shin, who is a LPGA top 60 player. No females have been able to make it into the final pairings or the last 3 final pairings. So they haven't really had a spotlight. So I don't think it's worked. It's certainly great, but to boost the profile, I don't think it's working. So yipped.
Awesome. Ranbo?
I don't know enough about it. I don't follow the WebEx, but in theory, I give it a rip in theory because I think there's no reason why not. So, but don't know enough about it, the detail.
Okay. Dooley?
Yeah, I'll give it a rip. Like years ago, like it's been 25 years since I played golf. Back in the day, women wouldn't play on the same day as men. So yeah, good on them. If it's good enough for Warhope, it's good enough for the tour. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
Okay, 2 more to go. Loud music blaring through Bluetooth speakers on your golf course is acceptable. Ripped or yipped? Damo?
No, that's a total yipped. I think, like we've said before, music and golf are like oil and water, really.
Nice.
I think the only music, but I'm repeating myself, but maybe some lead-in, classical music is acceptable on some level, but no chance. No chance. Absolutely ripped. I don't even want to hear it on our golfer tour days. I don't even want to hear music on our Central Coast Masters stuff. No, music's for the drive to the golf course, nowhere near the golf course.
Okay. So it's a yipped. Zuuc, what do you think?
To quote Damo, Wu-Tang? No. So yipped from me.
Ran, what do you think?
I'm going to throw a spanner in the works here. I'm on the fence. It depends. If it's my music, my speaker, I'm okay. Not that I'd ever do it. Not that I've done it, but if it's someone else's music, that's a problem. So I'm really torn on the fence. But I'll go with yipped because we're assuming that it's someone else's music.
Yep. Dooley, have you come across this?
I haven't, but I've read a few stories about it. 100% yep. No way. And yeah, definitely.
Look, like I said, I've got to say it every week. I'm no prude. I swear. I'll say yipped. Even though I love music, I used to listen to Ben Harper when I played golf in headphones, but not blaring through the course. I was playing last week at Palmer Gold Coast, stunning golf course. Absolutely loved it. And literally, I had a group of guys playing. I don't know what it was. It's like full on Wu-Tang Clan. I just didn't feel the vibe. Didn't feel it. Last question, boys. Does a caddy deserve a car when the golfer holes in one? So Will Zalatoris, his caddy got a Genesis B version of a car when Will Zalatoris scored a hole in one. Do you think he deserves it? I'm going to say no, yipped. He's an employee. He's being paid, and he also gets 15% of the winnings. So I don't think he deserves a car if he's golfer. He gets a hole in one. I'm going to say yipped. Damo?
Yeah, so this is a really interesting one, Ash. I might go for a compromise. So I think the pro gets the BMW, and maybe the caddy gets like a smart car or something.
A Holden Astra or something.
Yeah, maybe that's a way around it. So maybe they get something, but it can't be to the same level as the BMW i8 or whatever. They can have a 2-seater smart car or something.
Yeah, nice. Zuuc, what do you got? Ripped or yipped?
I'm horrible at par threes. I never know what club to use, so I'd love to have someone to tell me what club. And if it works, they deserve a car. So ripped.
Nice. Ripped.
Nice.
Ran?
Yeah, I'm a Dame. I think it's yipped, but maybe he gets a Bob Jane T-Mart voucher or something like that. I don't know. You know, like a free service, but not a car.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. Dooley, what do you think? Does he deserve a car?
Yeah, I reckon ripped, and like along what Chris was thinking. I mean, if you're the pro and you're not giving me a car, I'm telling you the wrong club.
Yeah.
That's a 6 line all day.
Yeah, nice.
That's
awesome. Great. Thanks, boys. That was ripped or yipped. Please feel free to comment below. Please also like and subscribe us here on YouTube. We need your help. We need to get our subscribers up. Also, if you're listening on Spotify, please like our podcast. Now, we're coming towards the end of the this week's episode of Hackers. I've had a lot of fun speaking with you guys. It's always my favorite hour of the week. But before we go, I've got a few more things to go. I've got a letter of the week I'll read out, which has come to us from James's father, and then we'll go around the boards and see what's happened this week. So just indulge me. If you want to write in, you can get us at ecghackers@gmail.com. Head over to Ranbo's ECG Hackers Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at ECG Hackers. This one came through on the Gmail this week, so bear with me. So this is James, and you're laughing already. It's not that funny, but I thought it was James. Thank you. James and his friend Tom were playing a round of golf with their wives early on a Sunday. So they're playing with their wives on a Sunday. It was a four-ball best ball game, better ball format like we do in the Central Coast Masters, the 4-ball Ambrose. We did that at Pack Bay, and we shot 3 under, I believe, this group in front of us here. Yeah. So they're playing a 4-ball best ball. James stood on the 10th tee, having hooked his previous 3 tee shots. And to no one's surprise, he hooked his drive again. When he found his ball, it was right up against one of those greenskeeper buildings. It was wedged under the bottom of the greenskeeper building. And his wife was in the cart with him. And his wife advised him to hit the shot through this narrow gap of trees between the side of the building and just off to the side of this building, there's a tree. So she's sort of saying, hit through that gap. I can't do that. James was saying, and he was overheard saying quite often, no, I can't do that. That's being stupid. But look how narrow that gap is. But his wife was so persistent, as they are, urging him on. She persuaded James to have a crack at that shot between the club, the greenskeeper and the tree there. So James took a nice big mighty swing, struck the ball, and the ball smashed off the tree branch, ricocheted off that Besser brick building and his wife in the head, and it knocked her out. And unfortunately, she died on the course.
Wow.
So it was a tragic accident. A week later at the funeral, James and another friend, Adrian, were having a round of golf after the funeral together. James teed the ball up on that 10th hole again, and he hit the exact same shot. He hooked it again into that same area. He found his ball in that same spot, and his partner, who he's playing with, advised him to hit through that gap again, hit it again. And he goes, "No way, mate. No way. I can't hit that shot." And Adrian says, "Why not, mate? Why not?" Well, James said, "You know what happened last time, you idiot?" And Adrian says, "No, I don't." He said, "What happened?" I said, "Well, last time I tried that shot, I hit a double bogey." So thanks, James, for bringing that in. If you want to write it to us, it's at ecghackers@gmail.com. I really appreciate that. Tragic story turned good. Lesson in that for everybody. Moving into next week, I believe we're going to add someone to the honour board. CHEVY Chase might rock up there. So far, we've got Craig Parry, Jack Newton. I believe our bursar, Zuuc, who's the brains of the group, has given the nod. So I believe CHEVY Chase will be there next week. What is your excuse, boys, for not joining my golf fantasy? You just got no excuse. You don't even offer up an excuse. You're just like just blankly not going to join. So I'm going to give you some stats. Here's my Dooley.
I've got no idea.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah, I got no idea. Well, I'll show you my fantasy for the week. This week, the DP is playing in Kenya, in Nairobi, at the Magical Kenya Open. I've picked Hoshino as my captain. I've got the South African Lawrence, Fratelli, Svensson, Ferguson, and the Australian Hayden Barron. I did give you that team last week, but they had a week off. We're in Mexico with the PGA this week. I've got Tony Finau, Lanto Griffin, Hisatsuni, Jaeger, Mackenzie Hughes, and Davis Thomas in my fantasy. Please comment below if you've got your own fantasy team. And I expect you boys on the screen right now to join. Yes, Dooley?
What's the wildlife situation like in Kenya?
Yes. Yeah. I can't wait to watch it. I've seen some from last year. Interesting course, I could imagine.
Some long raft there you wouldn't want to be going into.
Bit of giraffes and
I have a lot of golf fantasies. They usually relate to these, occasionally.
Say that again. I missed that.
Maybe an eagle one day. Maybe an eagle. I'd love to get an eagle one day. I'd love to hit it like a 5-iron into a par 4 and it goes in. That'd be my goal.
Yeah. Golf fantasy. I've missed an eagle putt once with, I think it was even with Dooley at Riverside Oaks. I had an eagle putt in a par 5 there and missed it. And I think I parred it in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening this week, boys? Anyone playing golf this weekend, or we got anything planned sporting wise? You going to Taylor Swift? What's happening? Zuuc?
Hopefully, battling flu-like symptoms at the moment, but hoping to get out on the course on Sunday. A few guys from work and Mitch, who's come down from the Central Coast. Looking to have a bit of a hit at Wakehurst. So fingers crossed, my health improves.
Nice. Hey, mate, thanks for joining us this week, Chris. Soldiering on. I really appreciate it. We all do.
Big effort, mate. Big effort.
Ranbo, what's happening this weekend?
I think I'm going to actually double it, having a go at pickleball. So
yes,
going to have a crack at that. And we're going to Blink 182 as well. So no Taylor Swift. We're going to Blink 182. So wouldn't mind checking that out.
Awesome. Dooley, what do you got on this weekend?
This week, I'm having 9 holes tomorrow afternoon with my daughter. So I'll pick her up from school, get there early enough to get a buggy because I'm not walking 2 days in a row. They'll kill me.
Yeah.
And then Thursday comp at Warhope again next week.
Nice.
Early one.
Dooley, did you
you
Dooley, you played golf with someone interesting today, right?
I did, yeah. This elderly fella. First of all, there was two. Yeah, two. So the most interesting bloke was Jeff. He was probably in his 60s, nearly 70. He was in the Olympics at Seoul, 88, and was a baseballer.
Oh, nice.
Of all things.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some good stories. And it took me about 12 holes to realise he's right-handed, and he putts left-handed every hole.
Yeah, right.
Like, it took me a while. I said, I didn't want to ask, did you just swap? But yeah, he was a left-handed putter and really good at it. So
yeah.
Wow.
And then the other bloke, which just an absolute goon.
There's always one of those. Always one of those.
Commentated every shot. Lots of advice given. And I ended up beating him by 2 points.
Damo, what were you going to say, Dame?
Oh, no. I just, as you were saying that, Dooley, I might give that a try. I'm up for anything. Left-handed putting. Let's do it. Let's give it a try. But I think,
I asked him why, and he said, well, with these other bat sports, he's left-handed. So he thought with more control, he'd try the putting left-handed. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The other bloke didn't play with Dave Nielsen, or who were those? Different era.
So he was.
Dave Nielsen.
He said his son played with the Nielsens up there. And do you remember the Sydney Blues legend Graham Castle threw submarine underarm pitcher?
Oh, no.
So he was his roommate for a while as well. So yeah.
Wow. He probably knows our old school, David Hines, maybe.
For sure. Hines is president of the ABL at the moment, so he definitely knows.
Right? There you go. That'd be
Is
nice.
the Claxton Shield still a thing? No, that's right. Is the Claxton Shield still a thing, or is that a long time ago?
I think they changed the name of it, mate. Yeah, a while back, but it is still a shield somewhere in a cabinet. Yes.
Nice. Damo, what about you? We'll finish with you. What's happening this weekend? You watching something? Are you doing anything?
Paddle ball, pickle ball. I saw Taylor Swift last week with my daughter, and that was just a wonderful experience. I just loved it at the MCG. Was actually down on the ground, and I must admit, the MCG is a cauldron. I can see why they call it a cauldron. It's just a single dome, and I was thinking as I was watching the concert, but I was thinking that must have been an extraordinarily intimidating place to play sport, because it is very much a cauldron. But and a bit of golf maybe on Monday. I haven't asked Ran or Chris or anyone who's around if we can have a hit on Monday before I head down to camp. Have a hit.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hackers of all ages, it's been a lovely hour spent with the ECG boys. We really appreciate you listening, watching. Please like and subscribe to our podcast. Belvedere, keep that cold. I'm coming. Boys, it's been a wonderful night. I'm heading off to the 19th hole. Peace. I'm out of here. See you next week, boys.
Thanks, fellas.
Later. See you guys.
Bye.
It's time.
Hey there, sports fans. This is the ECG Golf Club. And welcome to this week's Hackers Podcast. Every episode available on Spotify and YouTube.
Now watch this drive.